Hey guys, thank you for clicking to watch this video. My name is MC Kajambi, and if it's your first time to come across this channel, please consider subscribe today and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload such kind of a great video, if these are the kinds of videos that you like. Now, my people, today I want us to look at some clips, trending clips on how the Maga community is crying out in public and also calling upon the black community to help them to overthrow or rise against a government which they put in power by themselves. Even this, it was after massive warnings from the black people for resisting the pressure to vote in Donald Trump. This is how they are continuing to cry. Some of the highlighted issues include how the DHS is cutting off, benefits from its own people. Let's look at this clip.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is no scenario in which the deconstruction of America plays out where it does not hurt us as people. There is not a scenario in which this plays out where any good comes from it. This will, mark my words, it will end with war. Whether or not that is a class war, whether or not that is a civil war, or whether or not that is us overthrowing an authoritarian government, it will end badly. So we need to prepare, we need to decide, are we going to take care of their problem and just each other, or are we going to come together and them? Because at this point, we're out of options. Yeah, we can take back the house in April. We might not have till April. Like, I feel like everybody knows how, well, not everybody apparently, but I feel like those of us who know how bad this is, but like at the same time, we're almost in denial. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen as fast as we think it is. Yes, the fuck it is. So we need to prepare. We need to plan, because at some point they are going to cut the internet. They are going to cut the power. They are going to take away our forms of communication, of planning and establishing. And when that happens, we need to take to the streets. We need to shut this shit down. Because if every single person, or at least 75% of Americans, if we all come together and we're in the fucking streets, what are they gonna do? No one's working, no one's spending money, no one is lining their fucking pockets. So just know that this is going to end in war. This is not going to end well. And we need to come together as Americans. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're tan. I don't give a fuck if you are a trans individual or a gay individual. We are people. We are Americans, and we have to come together because this shit is not going to end good for anybody. Even if you are on the wrong side of history right now, this shit will not end well for you. So, get it the fuck together. Let's come up with a plan. Because I feel like people are still excited about summer. They're like, ooh, summer's coming. No, it's not. Like, in the words of Game of Thrones, winter is coming. Even though it's fucking winter right now, I hope you get the point. Because it's not like we're all just going to be out here on the beach this summer. Like, we're all going to be fighting for our goddamn freedom. We're all going to be fighting for our rights. We are all going to be fighting for a better world for our kids to grow up in.
This is for all of the MAGA folk who are crying right now because they've been fired. Why are you doing that? I honestly don't understand why. You voted for this. This is exactly what you wanted. This is exactly what he said he was going to do. They even had a handbook. Project 2025. You know, the thing that you didn't believe was a thing? The thing that he said he wasn't associated with, so you just believed him for some reason, even though many of the people around him is associated with that in one way or another, but you were just like, nope, King Cheeto said he's not associated with it, he must not be. How do you feel about that now? How do you feel about that now? Great again? Doesn't look like it.
Elon Doge, I got some big news. I just found some potentially massive fraud. Oh wait, it looks like it's from you. So the Doge team has promised for a while that they were going to put up examples of these spending that they had cut and the savings that they had brought Americans on their website. So they finally put up their first example, and you got to check this out. This post is from Jamie Dupree. He writes, the Doge team has finally posted examples of where they've cut spending. This one claims $8 billion in savings. You can see the $8 billion in big numbers right over there. But if you look at the fine print in the upper right, it's a contract that is instead valued at $8 million. Let me just zoom in for you so you can see what it actually reads on the contract $8 million. And by the way, that's a ceiling. That's the most that the contract could potentially be valued. It also looks like this is a multi-year contract. But here's where the fraud comes in. So when journalists pointed this out, it appears that Doge tried to cook the books in order to change the actual numbers. Jamie Dupree followed up writing, "The top is what it looked like a few hours ago. Now someone has gone in and changed 8 million to 8 billion in the FPDS system. Also, the dates are now different." And you can see here that magically that $8 million is now $8 billion. Then when Doge was called out for that, they changed the website to remove the screenshot entirely. Now, first off, this should have been apparent that this was BS on its face. What small business is possibly getting $8 billion from the government? But we thought, you know what, let's investigate this. Let's reach out to the company and see what they have to say. Is Doge lying about this? So guess what? We did. So here's what the company told us. D&G Support Services, doing business as D&G Solutions, acknowledges that the previously reported contract value of $8 billion was incorrect. This discrepancy appears to have resulted from a clerical error in the original government filing upon contractor award. The contract value had a ceiling, $8 million. D&G is proud to maintain long-term contracts with the federal government, providing integrated logistics and supply chain solutions. We remain committed to excellence and a one-team, one-fight approach to our customers, their missions, and our country. So it's becoming very obvious right now that Doge's supposed savings are all kind of total BS. Meanwhile, these small businesses are getting screwed. People are losing their jobs. Also, that Elon Musk could try to free up some money to give billionaires a $4.5 trillion tax cut.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's had a nice weekend. Had a good Valentine's Day, good long weekend. I made a video a few days ago, asking why there seemed to be so much anger directed towards federal employees and why so many people seem to be almost celebrating their being fired. And several people in those comments asked me if I could do a follow-up video if I got any real answers. And I did, amongst a bunch of other ones that weren't. Short answer is this: there seems to be a lot of people who believe there's bloat and waste in the government, and that firing the federal employees is going to fix that. It's going to help with that. It's not going to fix it, but it's going to help with that. But the problem is that it doesn't actually help a ton because their salaries don't make up but a small part of our budget. Then not an answer, but providing more context. There's a lot of people that seem to be conflating or confusing federal employees with congressional offices or politicians, like Congress and federal employees all being the same thing. And that's not what this is. We're talking about people who work for our government that don't work for Congress, that work, and they work all over the country. They work all over our country. They work in your national park. They work, with doctors and nurses. They work for the Veterans Affairs. They do all kinds of really important work. They work for the FBI. They do, whatever. And those are not the same thing as congressional offices. So basically, we need to listen better, I think, is more what it is. And we need to unite ourselves rather than trying to be so angry at each other and be angrier at the people who aren't giving us correct information. And I think that's a huge part of it. So anyway, so there it is. There's a lot of people who think that there's bloat and waste in the government. And there is, and I don't think any federal employee would disagree with that, honestly. I think most federal employees would say, yes, there are ways that we need to change things, and yes, there are things that we could cut and whatever else, but they're cutting the employees themselves isn't actually going to help. It's not going to help enough. It's not going to help very much at all. All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day. Bye.
People that voted for Donald Trump who are losing their job, ... We got to make sure that we don't leave those folks behind, end quote. Sorry, Shazam, but that's not how this works. The good people who are being left behind are those who voted against Donald Trump, who are trying to warn their fellow MAGA employees that this would happen if Donald Trump got elected. Those are the people who don't deserve to lose their jobs. But as for the Trump supporters who are now getting fired as a result of Elon Musk's Doge, they effed around at the ballot box, and now they're finding out.
I am so freaking pissed off right now. I just left my DHS office. I had a review because somebody else has reported me to my caseworker to the state of Michigan because I get over $4,000 in food stamps. I get almost $2,000 in cash benefits. And because I am making money on TikTok, they don't believe I should be able to get welfare. Well, come to find out, if you own a home or own any type of property, you are supposed to report that to your caseworker because they take that into consideration. So because we own our own home and because we own 3 vehicles, they are now taking everything away unless I sell all my assets. So if you own any assets and you receive welfare, you might want to report it or you're going to get cut off. So I either have to sell my home and my vehicles or lose my benefits. And that is not fucking fair. That is not fair. So you're saying to receive benefits, I can't have nice things. Those are my benefits. Mine. I should be able to have nice things.
Hey, I'm gonna do you a solid right now, okay? I really want you to send them this video, all right? All right, just send this to them, all right? They thought they were climbing out of that bucket, didn't they? Turns out we're all fucking crabs, bitch. We're all crabs, and this water's getting slowly hotter and hotter. They voted for him. In absence of fact, in defiance of fact, they sought out alternative information that supported their bias. But what was the bias? Why were they so goddamn inclined to Donald Trump? Why did they fall prey to him? It's bigotry. Yeah, they have a latent superiority bias. They think they are the exceptions and they will be spared. No, my friends, you are actually victims alongside the rest of us. The people you thought you were targeting, you actually turned that on yourself. Point the finger, how many are pointing back at you? Oh yeah, maybe next time you will take your arrogance down a notch. Maybe next time you'll listen to the people who are the most victimized and pay attention to what they say and not fall prey to propaganda about wokeness when you don't even fucking know what the word means. Let me outline it for you. It just means aware of the social inequities and disparities that exist in our culture. Ones that are about to become painfully obvious to you too, you cunts. But see, here's the thing. We are what they made us. We're not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with us. Yeah. Try getting that trust back. Ooh, that's not happening. So while you're starving to death without your Social Security, I just want you all, both of you, to remember that we had this conversation and that you get no sympathy from us. None. Because you were so blatantly self-absorbed, so selfish, so arrogant, you get nothing. You get to starve. Cheers. And maybe in a few years, when things really get shitty, maybe then someone on our side will go, oh, you know, I've realized I want to be a bigger person than I can afford to be, so maybe I'll help some folks out. But I'm going to prioritize my help for the people who need it the most. That being the people who are going to be the most victimized by this whole thing that you've caused. So I'm going to prioritize my help to people like trans folks, brown folks, yeah. Yeah, you're last on the list. These are the consequences of your action.
So my Maga mom, who watches Fox News nonstop, had her find out moment on Valentine's Day. She doesn't get out much. She has a lot of health problems. But she got herself together and they were going to go out to dinner at their favorite Mexican restaurant in town. However, when they got there, apparently it's been shut down for good. Shut down. So I said to her, because I know they were all Hispanic, and I know they all came from Mexico because the owner was extremely wealthy and he would go back from time to time to Mexico. It was a restaurant we'd gone out to, I'm going to go 30 years, you know, love it. Excellent food. And I said, you think it had anything to do with the fact that they were Hispanic and from Mexico?